Hey Aaron, so I made a video before this and I didn't like it, so I'm gonna send this again. I sent you a video on what I recommend for your shoulders, and I'm gonna hit on that video at the very end. Man, I'll just hit on that before I forget. With that video, I won't say too much more than what he said because it's spot on. But when you do those, please do those. Start off light. Don't use no heavy weight. Start off light. I would go high reps for low sets, like 12 to 15 reps and 3 to 4 sets. Leave it at that. No light. Only lightweight. When you're doing the extensions, keep this knee straight. Don't let it budge. So keep that straight and just go down, like he said, slow. I like how he made a point. A lot of those movements, don't rush through it, Take your time and let your tendons, ligaments, and joints, all of it feel that tension. That's gonna be really good for you. The trap 3 raise, when again, don't start off light. When I started on my trap 3 raises to fix my shoulder, I did not, in my back, I did not go heavy at all. At first, I actually started off with no weight, and I was thankful that I did because I built up gradually. Some athletes, not given that exercise, they like to put like 25 pounds in their hands, and they can't even lift it. So go like no weight or light. Doesn't go no weight or light is the best. One more thing. I'm just going to put a plug in for his program. You don't have to, obviously. It's your decision, your money. When I used his program, I had his subscription for, it's all online, 6 months to a year. I think it was about a year. I originally went in there to fix my knees, and it got the job done. But I also saw his other programs in there, and I was curious, so I just dabbled in what he calls his protocols. His protocols is essentially whenever you have an injury, he says go to these exercises, these movements, these stretches to work it out. Whether it's for the ankle, for the calf, for the shin, for foot, shoulder, knee, you name it, back, hamstring growing. He has just this treasure trove of movements that is so helpful. So I went in there and I just learned it all. I even pulled from it and put it into my own archive of movements. So if you were to use this program, even if it's for a month or two, just to work out the shoulder, I would grab those other protocols so that you know what to go to when you encounter someone with your body, or Elizabeth, or Conrad, or Elliot, or whoever else. You're like a source of information for somebody else. Up to you though. I'm going to recommend it. Up to you, brother. Leaving that alone. You talked about your benching. I'm going to try not to sound like a bench hater, but I'm not a bench hater. I just think there's other lifts that might be a little bit more beneficial for your body than the bench. And I'm pretty sure you're like, I know that, but I'm doing it. Nothing wrong with a bench press. I think what might have happened with you is I think the load was a little heavy, and so your maybe there's some compensation. With the bench press, I'm learning that with at least, if not all, some lifts, there's some give and take, or some give and take. So with bench pressing, the wrists are always pretty much in this very stiff position. It's trying to hold the load in this position. You're grabbing the bar, obviously, but it's still in this little fixed position. The wrist doesn't ever go from here to like something like this. So if you do like a clean, maybe a lot of athletes, when they just bench all the time and they try to clean, they can't grab the bar this way. Their wrists can't go back that far, so they have to like hold the bar like this. And you might be thinking, well, when would I ever need to clean? I'm not cleaning. Got it. But when you only allow the wrist to be in this very fixed, stiff position, you don't work out the full range of your wrist. When you never know when you might need to use your wrist in a different movement. And if they're not trained to do that, you might strain your wrist. Say, you want Conrad and Ellie to have some grandkids where you might have to hold the grandchild up in a certain way, pick them up, or maybe the scenarios are endless. Maybe there's just a couple, maybe it's just a dozen scenarios. But regardless, that's just something I think about when it comes to benching. And you can fix that. Obviously, you can keep benching and still work out your wrist. Like there are some people who actually like spend time on the floor, putting their wrist like this so they get to work out these different ranges of motion. That's just something to be aware of when it comes to some of these very traditional lifts like the bench. I'm not saying stop benching. I'm just saying be aware of these things. I think there's other lifts that might be a little bit maybe beneficial, maybe more functional than the traditional bench press. And I'm a fan of the push-up. And I know you know all about the push-up. One of the benefits of the push-up, or one of the ways, obviously, it's body weight. You can put some weight in the body too. But I think what Ben Patrick recommends when he trains, also, that's pause, with the bench press, one of the limitations of the bench press is that the bench, if you're using a barbell, the bench stops where your chest is. The bench, bench stops where your chest is. The barbell stops where your chest is. What might be a little bit better, or another way to supplement, is using dumbbells, because dumbbells, they're stopping way past the chest. So you get a more range of motion with it. You also get to target their back a little bit. So that's, I won't get into why I like the full range of motion. I hope that it's some of it's self-explanatory from stuff that you know, maybe Elizabeth told you, but full range of motion is almost just the best, especially, I wouldn't say as people age, but as any age. I encounter athletes all the time in fitness who have reaped the negative side effects of not training full range of motion, if not on all lifts, most lifts. So your dumbbells allow you to go past the chest. Another lift is the push-up. Obviously, the push-up is still fixing that fixed wrist position, but the push-up, you obviously know, you stop at the ground. What this guy recommends, Ben Patrick, is he says load up 4 45-pound plates, rubber plates. Put 2 here, put 2 there. I know this is off center. Just grab some in my garage. Where you allow the chest to go deeper into that to that push-up for more of a, you name it, full range of motion. So the chest gets to go deeper than just stopping right there. And you'll feel a world of a difference if you do that push-up compared to the old push-up. And this stuff is not like new. It's not like, fresh off the market. This is old stuff, but it's not really, it's not advertised or marketed that much. I won't recommend another. I'll leave it at that. That's one more we'll talk about, but I'll leave it alone. But that's just another way you can work that chest and really get a deeper, hit some deeper muscles than your traditional bench press. I think I want to leave it at that. Take all this as you will. If anything, you can toss up what I said and listen to Ben. But just be aware of some of those things that we talked about with the bench press, and how you can supplement or just supplement. So I hope this stuff helps, man. There's definitely hope for that shoulder problem. Take things light, take things slow, but stick to the things he said, and I think you'll progressively see lots of improvement, brother.